Have you ever wondered how you can increase your influence and your persuasion skills? If so, let's talk for a couple minutes. My name is Sarah Zimmerman. I'm a faculty here in business communication at the University of Michigan Ross School of Business. And when we think about the skills of persuasion and influence, we have to go back to very early research in ancient Greece done by Aristotle. Aristotle was consumed with many different problems, but one of those was understanding how people could be more influential, more credible as they spoke in front of groups. Because back then, not everyone read. There weren't amazing internet memes and videos. And so people's hearts and minds were made up by going to public squares and listening to orators. If we think about it now, politicians need to be able to influence. Teachers need to be able to influence. Salespeople need to be able to influence. And indeed, managers at every single level of an organization and in every single different industry need to be able to influence. So what Aristotle came up with was a three-prong approach. One, logos. Logos is the idea of what logic you use, what content you use, the arguments that you choose in trying to persuade someone, and the evidence that you use to support those different arguments. Pathos is the emotion that's used whenever trying to persuade someone, and the emotion should be able to complement the logic used. Third is the one that we're going to be working with a little bit more today, and this is ethos, the personal characteristics. Aristotle defined this as your credibility, which could be earned in the moment in first impressions, or it could come with you into that speaking engagement, but also the delivery and the charisma that you use when speaking about any particular topic. This idea of executive presence lives a little bit in these first two, but mostly in this idea of ethos. Since Aristotle, people have been very concerned with how they can also be more persuasive and influential. In the 1960s, we see a large body of research coming out, wide-scale studies, especially in the US, but also within Europe. A lot of these studies tell us that good executive presence, a strong leader, is seen as somebody who is male, tall, and has a deep voice. This is great if you have those three characteristics, but what if you don't? There are certain tricks, very simple ones, that we can use to overcome those three initial prejudices. One is how we physically take up space. I might not be a man who takes up a lot of space, but I can use physical presence tricks in order to trick others to thinking that I take up more space. How I walk into a room. When I first meet somebody, I'll open with a big smile, which culturally is appropriate in the US, but not everywhere else. So a big smile, I actively lock eyes with the person, shake their hand, and make sure that I can repeat their name back. If walking into a bigger scale setting, I will use wide strides to make it look like I am more confident than I might be feeling inside. On a virtual screen, I will think about how my shoulders and how my position within the screen itself appears. I will want to make sure that I've got about a hand above my head, and I'll want to make sure that my shoulders are in the screen because my shoulders actually say a lot about how confident I might look in the back of people's minds. By shrinking down, looking down, I exhibit what can be considered low confidence. But by opening up my shoulders, opening up my chin a little bit, I exude what is typically considered higher, more confident behaviors. These are small little things, and they do create a difference when people aren't paying 100% attention. But what about when you come in as a new leader? When you are shifting from one role in an organization to another, and people know you a little bit, but you have to create a very strong first impression. In this way, we have to think about what's actually important for executive presence now. Since COVID, perhaps, or more likely because of changing expectations across generations, people crave authenticity. They want to work with someone that they understand and they like. And a lot of trickery and fakery isn't authentic, and people can see through that when they're focused. So in this way, the best way to build true executive presence is to think about what makes you you and to lean into that in a way that is seen as credible to others. If you are a people person and a nurturer, lean into that and don't feel that you have to be so tough. Take one-on-ones with people. Ask them how they're doing. Ask them how you can help them. This will really bolster your credibility, and that boost of credibility will allow you to be more influential. And it has nothing to do with taking up space or having a deep voice. If you identify as a creative, lean into that. Ultimately, you don't want to be living a fake life, and others don't want you to be fake either. Don't feel bad about adopting maybe unique clothing, watch, hairstyle, a different affect that really showcases you as different from others. People want to work with people that they understand and like. Lean into that. I've given you a few tricks just to think about building up traditional executive presence, taking up space, thinking about how you appear in a virtual setting. But I really call you to think deeply about who you are authentically. Lean into those characteristics in order to be the most influential and persuasive person that you can be. If you want more one-on-one attention or small group training for your work group, please contact us at the University of Michigan Executive Education Group. We offer group trainings and coaching to really build you into your best executive presence. Building that executive presence allows you to be the most influential and persuasive person you can be. Good luck, and thank you for your time today.